Hey, it's April from the Noble Garden. Today is July 31st, 2022, and this is my 9th garden tour of this season. And I live in Western Piedmont, North Carolina, Zone 7B, and I have a long growing season, and I do a lot of succession sowing, and I just bring you guys along on my journey. Today we're going to do a garden tour, and we're going to start at the bottom. We normally start at the top. However, I do have harvesting to do. No one harvested yesterday, so I once again wore my harvest apron. Of course, I got baskets as well. But let's get started. So this is probably one of the prettiest areas in my garden. Look how much the cantaloupe and watermelon have filled out this area. There are lots of watermelons and cantaloupes growing. There's a lot of bee activity right now because I'm doing this a little bit later than I usually do in the morning. I'm going to check on a cantaloupe because I check on it daily. It is not ready, but it is right here, and it probably will be the first one ready. So cantaloupe, when it's ready, it actually falls off the vine, so I know that's nowhere near close. But let me show you a few more cantaloupes that I know have been there for a little bit. In the past, I noticed cantaloupe is usually ready in about a month from the time you start seeing it grow real good. So I do have to be, oh God, these bees. I know that they're friendly, but that doesn't make me feel any better. There are several cantaloupe growing in there, but I don't see any. This is the closest one to ripening, so I'll have to keep my eye out on this one. And then here are the watermelons. To be honest with you, I haven't checked this lately, so I don't know how many watermelons are growing in here. I just know this big guy right here I keep an eye on. And to check to see if they're ready, let me see if I can get to it. I can tell you it's not ready. But to check and see if watermelon's ready, guys, you're going to look for this guy right here. You see that tendril? So here's your watermelon, the tendril. It's going to be completely dry. Like brown, dry, falling off. That's how you know. But looking at that, I was able to spot this watermelon. And let's see if I can catch it. Another watermelon. I didn't know those two were there. Now, I did know this watermelon's here. And there are so many bees, and I know that they won't hurt me if... But this watermelon has gotten pretty big. But its tendril's still nice and green, so. But there's another one. So the other thing that's right beside this aisles are my cherry tomatoes. And as you can see, they're still producing. They have amazed me this year. Look how tall they are. I've never had them get that tall. Like, to even harvest the fruit off that, I'm going to need some type of ladder. I'm going to take you guys down this aisle. I know that there is stuff to pick. I'm not going to pick the cherry tomatoes on camera. That would take a while of y'all's time. But I will show you, I am dealing with disease. So this is blight. I let this leaf go real past its time. It's just that time of the year. I think we've had a discussion about this before. But it's just the humidity. The storms. We get storms almost every day, and the humidity. It is exactly what blight loves. Here's a big example of blight right here. So I guess I need to come out and do some limb trims. I call it a haircut. So guys, if you ever see your basil do this is basil that technically went to seed. Bees love it. It does change the flavor to basil. Sometimes I'll come and cut it off. But if you ever wonder why you get random basil pop up every year, it's because you let it go to seed like this. This tomato right here is my Cherokee green, and it's ready. This guy is delicious. If you ever get a chance to try a Cherokee green, do it. It's amazing. I haven't tried a lot of green tomatoes, but I most definitely love that green tomato. This one right here is my Cherokee purple. turkey purples are really, really good too. Unfortunately, I'm picking these tomatoes right after it rained, so the flavor is going to be diluted. Guys, look at these sunflowers. They're so pretty. If you're wondering what type this is vanilla ice. And they're really, really pretty. Some more tomatoes. We're going to go down this aisle of, we'll go down this side first and I'll come back down that side. This right here, ooh, the bees love that sunflower. This is my Dr. Witchy. I'll come back for it because I see 3 that need to be picked, so we'll come back for it. I did do a Kellogg's, which is this one right here. I haven't had one ripen yet for me to try, but it's supposed to be similar to the Dr. Witchy, which is why I grew it, because I wanted to see the taste. There's another Cherokee green right here. Ready? Isn't that just like the prettiest green? I promise you guys, it's delicious. This is a German Johnson. They're really prolific. I think that they are delicious. I love them. They're like not my all-time favorite, but they are so productive, and we use them for saucing and eating tomato sandwiches, that kind of thing. This right here, and this isn't the most ripe one. This is the Berkeley tie-dyed, which has been pretty prolific. But right now, to be honest with you, I only see those 2. So when those 2 are done ripening, I think I'm going to take this plant up. This is the Mortgage Lifter. This is the one that produced me my biggest tomato so far this season. You're going to notice I am going to go ahead and pick some of these that aren't completely ripe. And the reason why I'm going to do that is they're calling for storms again today. And the splitting that you get in tomatoes, it comes from them taking in more water than they can handle. But this right here, small plant, is San Roseo. Very productive, very tasty. But they are a little bit on the smaller paster side. I do have these paste tomatoes, which these plants are pretty sickly. But man, if they ain't got a lot of root on them. I guess until they die completely, right? But this right here is Amish. They are very prone to splitting. I've had that issue. However, they taste really good too. And they are a little bit bigger. All right, I'm going to quickly take you around to see these guys. This is mostly my determinate. As you can see, I have a Carolina Gold. It's a yellow tomato. These guys can produce. And these guys, Carolina Gold, they're delicious. Carolina Gold will always be grown in my garden. This was my first year with these, and these are called Marglobes. And they are crazy prolific, and they're all about the same size. They don't split that much. They taste really good, so they have earned a place in my garden. I'm just going to walk down the rest, because some of these look really sick. Some of these have not impressed me. The other one that's really impressed me is the Amelia, but as I'm looking at it, I do not see any ripen to kind of really show you. But I do like the Amelia. These right here are actually determinate. That's why they're all on the ground and crazy looking. Because I have obviously lost control of it. But this one right here is Early Girl. It's really normal red tomato. It's good. You can always count on it to produce. More San Roseos. We're going to go now down the next aisle. So guys, these are my only cucumbers that are left. This side right here is the salt and pepper. You're going to see that it is yellow. And that is not diseased. That is the color it's supposed to be. And then on this side is my straight 8, which I see one that I need to harvest. I've trimmed these leaves up. I'm trying to keep this as healthy as possible because it's just really bad timing for cucumbers because they really hate how heated it's gotten. This right here, guys, this beautiful plant with its gazillion babies, it's a Kashari melon. I talk about this every tour. Kajari melon is supposed to be some cross between a cantaloupe and a honeydew kind of thing. And it will ripen to an orange. And it acts like a cantaloupe. It will fall off when it is ready. And that's why you see it in these bags. These bags are tied to the trellis so that when I notice that the fruit has fallen off in the bag, I just come and take the baggie off. The one that would ripen the earliest would be this guy because he's the oldest. And I don't even see any signs of him ripening. Like I said, they turn orange. So just watching out. This is my honeydew. And I do have several honeydew growing. There's this one right here. And then the one I am watching is this one. From my understanding, honeydew is supposed to turn yellow. You push the end where the flower used to be. And if it's soft and spongy, then it's good to go. If it's hard, then it's not ripened. So I'll let you know how that works out. Now we're just looking at my peppers. This is the ones that were behind and weren't doing good, that are making up for it, that's for sure. And then this side is my corn, which I don't think did anything, to be honest. I don't even know when I'm gonna mess with trying to pick these guys, because when I touch them, I feel absolutely no kernels in there. So I'm just, corn and me are just gonna have to figure our life out some other time. This right here is my okra. I think okra flowers are by far one of the prettiest flowers. And I should be, oh, I do have an okra right there. That means I have to really watch out, because okra is one of those that you see it in the morning and it's too big in the afternoon. This right here growing up is actually a moonflower. I can't wait to show you guys more about that when time comes. The other side used to be a cucumber. It wasn't doing so good. I pulled it up, and I'm going to put a green bean plant there. This beauty right here is sweet potatoes. I think last week I showed you guys the beauty of sweet potato flowers. Aren't those gorgeous? I think they're gorgeous. Then we have some zinnias, which I love zinnias. There are some more peppers here. Like I said, this pepper aisle struggled. It is most definitely made up for struggling. We actually got to harvest some shishitos. I'm going to show you what shishitos are. So these are shishitos. And we blistered them and I cooked them on the stove, and they were really delicious. I'm going to leave them on the vine and we'll come get them as we need them. More tomatoes. It's like a jungle trying to get through this. My noodle beans, which we have been the worst people. I'm going to show you it in a different light. We have been the worst people about picking this. At this rate, as big as and thick as they've gotten, I'm just going to let these go to seed. I don't have seeds next year. And then we're going to actually cook some tonight for dinner. So I'm hoping that I have enough that's not going to seed. Ground cherries. Now the ground cherries, they do fall to the ground, and I have picked some off the ground. I don't really like doing that. Oh, speaking of which, you guys see how much has fallen to the ground? And that's when they're the tastiest. It's when they're super, super ripe. That's what I've noticed. This is my first time seeing this zucchini plant this sick. I do not know how much longer it's going to last. I didn't realize it was starting to look like this. I might trim up the leaves and see if I can get it to survive some more. I don't know if it has fruit in it, because I haven't seen it in a few days. Let's see. It's usually at the tip. I am not seeing any, guys. There's one right there, but it's not ready. Some more sunflowers. This is my green beans. I am going to do another round of them because I've got time to do them. So I'm going to put them in some places because I love green beans. This is my other bed of squash and zucchini, the newer bed. that I got started. I am trying, guys, to teach this to grow up instead of like the other one all over the place. So I haven't really done a good job with that either. But it does have fruit on it, though. Look. Little baby squash. This side over here is my second bed of watermelon. So that watermelon, I'm going to bring you closer to it. Of course, I don't have a baby watermelon to show you, but look at its leaves. This is the moon and star one, and this is the, I think, orange flesh one. They have different flesh colors, and we got the orange one, so we're excited about that. Asparagus, still doing its thing, amazingly. I'm going to show you this side of the okra. Look how big my okra plants have gotten, and I feel like they've gotten this big out of nowhere. This is amazing. I'm excited to finally get okra. So guys, I told you it stormed. My husband said, I worked last night, but he told me it stormed really, really hard. And I believe him, because this doesn't always catch all my rainfall, but it caught almost 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches in a night. That's a lot. And they're calling for more today. That's way too much for this garden, to be honest. Some green beans that I'm growing, I'm not sure if I've shown them to you guys or not, but these are called rattlesnake. They're very tasty, and this is about the size that I like to harvest them. But yeah, you'll see that they're that they're purple and green, but when you cook them, they do completely turn green. But they are very tasty. Even if you let them get a little bigger to this size, they're not stringy at all. They still taste really good, and that's one thing that we love, and they're very prolific. This is the other end that we normally start on. And I left it for last because it has a lot of change. And it's going through a lot of change. So you're going to notice all my arches are naked. We took down all the cucumbers. And we took down the kazuni. Sorry, I'm really bad about pronouncing that. I did put more cucumber seeds in to succession grow them, because I do have time to grow more cucumbers. But I'm sad going down this aisle because I really enjoyed all its beauty. The cucamelon, as usual, is wild and crazy. You can kind of see the green beans a little bit better this way. But this is a zucchini plant. It's one of the originals, and it's surviving, and I just think it's amazing. When that one down there came afterwards, and it's not doing as good. But my squash and zucchini are down this aisle. So one side squash, this side squash, and this side zucchini. However, I think I only have 2 or 3 zucchinis, and I have a lot of squash. I'm all over the place with this tour, but look how pretty these sunflowers are. They're so pretty. Look how big these plants get, guys. They're huge. All right, back to the tour. So, as you can see, these squash plants are really big. My husband wants to take them up because they're just getting diseased. And it's time. It's time to start cleaning this aisle out and preparing it for the fall. So, each week you're going to notice my garden is going to look a little different. It's going to look empty, but it's all going to be fulfilled by fall crops at some point. I found us another zinnia. I think zinnias are so pretty. But we'll just kind of walk. I've got to harvest. I know I knew to. I can see a few squashes just like walking by. It's really hard to let the squash go when I know it's still producing. But if you look at the other side of it, it really does look sick and it really does look bad. It's just that for some reason the plants are growing this way, like long ways. And so all the healthier stuff is right here because this is the top of the plant. But this is the longest I've ever grown squash or even zucchini. So I'm happy about that. There's another zucchini plant. And this one actually doesn't look very good. More sunflowers. If you can't tell, I think I love sunflowers. Speaking of squash, look at that, guys. Is it not hard to give up on plants when they can produce still like that? And I know when I walk by it without you guys that there is going to be more. So guys, the last part of this tour, we're gonna walk down and look at the peppers. Now, this side of peppers, it struggled like the other side, but it bounced back faster, so they are loaded. They are really loaded. And what we do is we really just come out here and pick them as we need them. So this one right here is actually a yellow pepper. So I'm waiting for these peppers to turn yellow, which so far I have not found one. But look how big that guy is. That's cool. This guy is my chocolate, and we have actually harvested a few. And then the next group is California, which California I can decide to harvest them green, or I can decide to wait and let them turn red, which if I can find it, here we go. I have one turning red, so at this point, I'm letting that one turn red. The next thing is my Jimmy Nardino. And this guy is a perfect example of how beautiful red it turns. This is my Jimmy Nardino, and they're supposed to be red like this. They're sweet and tasty. I will cut him off and enjoy him. The next group is my Habaneras, which is a sweet version of a habanero. The sweet version. So it's sweet, not spicy. See? Guys, I didn't realize I had this down here. Now, I think these turn orange when they're ready. I might have to look it up, because I don't want to harvest them too soon. But I'm excited because I didn't know that was there. I'm going to show you these guys. They enjoy some attention sometimes. Hey, ladies! Look, they hear my voice and they all come flooding in. Oh, there's another one coming. Look. They're so cool. I love these guys. We're actually adding on. We're going to be getting some more hens and building another coop. Thank you guys for joining me with another walk through my garden. I hope you guys are enjoying these tours and seeing my garden change just as much as I see it change. I have a long growing season. I'm trying to take advantage of it. Things are going to die. You replace them. Don't give up. Stay encouraged. It takes years to learn gardening, and I'm still learning. I learn every year all kinds of different things. But I hope seeing the change and even the disease, and I don't really call it failure, I call it lessons. Even, through someone else. I hope that it makes you guys realize that gardening, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to learn. But I thank you guys for sticking with me every week, and I hope to continue to make these tours for you. When it comes to the tours, I don't know how many more we're going to have, because like I said, we're ripping plants out. But as long as I feel like there's enough content, I'll keep making them. And then of course, once the fall garden gets put in, we'll make fall videos of what I'm planting, what I'm doing, and keep you guys updated. I thank you guys for watching, and remember, if you like my videos, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.